One Zambia, one nation. Hello and welcome to Zanis News to present. My name is Henry Himonde. Top stories in our news. President Hakainde Hichilema woos Israeli investors. Over 1 million kwacha misappropriated by Solwezi Municipal Council staff. Kayambi Chozi Road works commence. And Chief Mukwikile commends government for development. And now the news in detail. President Hakainde Hichilema has called on Israeli investors to explore investment opportunities in Zambia. The president said the country is keen in growing the agricultural sector because Israel is technologically advanced. And Israeli President Isaac Herzog said his country will increase trade with Zambia because the country is slowly becoming a hub in food security. Kalan Mchima now gives us details in the following report.
A toast of brotherhood and continued friendship between Zambia and Israel is what Israeli President Isaac Herzog proposed during a state banquet held in honor of President Hakainde Hichilema and his delegation. It was at this event where President Herzog announced intentions of increasing trade and business between his country and Zambia.
Zambia is a remarkable nation with stunning physical landscape, beautiful human landscape, as we heard from First Lady and the President. The eagerness to develop, grow and learn makes cooperation between our nations so natural. And of course it's about time that we increase the trade and business between Israel and Zambia, as Zambia is becoming the major hub of food security for entire Africa. Our recent deepening collaboration epitomizes the people-to-people creative connections that are driving innovation and making it a better world. There is so much that can become possible when we join hands in goodwill to improve life on Earth together.
President Herzog said President Hichilema's leadership has set him among the best performing presidents in the world.
I heard from the White House, are you meeting HH? He's the greatest guy around, and indeed he is.
President Hichilema, on the other hand, used the occasion to woo Israeli investors to consider investing in Zambia, especially in the agriculture sector.
Investment, relationships, mutual benefits for all our people. And for us now, we look at the size of this country, we've done so much. But there's land somewhere, there's space somewhere where you can continue expanding, given the ingenuity of your people, technology, of course, the network of capital that you have across the world. So we would like to really invite the business community that is here, that our country is once again open for business. Come and do business with us, as the Sussmans did.
After all was said and done, it was time for the president to leave in readiness for more engagements the following day. President Hichilema was accompanied by First Lady Mutinta Hichilema. Kalan Muchima, reporting for Zanis in Jerusalem, Israel.
And President Hakainde Hichilema has paid tribute to the Jewish forefathers for the vision and commitment they had, which led to the establishment of the State of Israel. President Hichilema said this when he visited the burial site of Theodor Herzl, the founder of modern Zionism. The president also visited Yad Vashem, which commemorates the Holocaust, located in the west of Mount Herzl in West Jerusalem, where he laid a wreath. We have details in the following report by Jonathan Mkuka.
In his continued visit to the State of Israel, President Hakainde Hichilema has continued with his crucial engagements with government officials at various levels. President Hichilema, accompanied by his two cabinet ministers, also took time to visit the historical sites in West Jerusalem that included the burial site of Theodor Herzl, the founder of modern Zionism, who died over 140 years ago.
126 years ago, started a huge revolution for the Jewish people in order to establish the Jewish state. 50 years later, Israel was established, re-established. After 2,000 years in which we were exiled from the land of Israel, we came back to our land to re-establish our state.
One or a small number of Jewish people believed that one day they will return to their homeland and have a state of Israel.
Thanks God.
And here it is. So God's will. Let's carry the vision. You have a vision, you believe in something, don't give away that vision.
The president also visited Yad Vashem, which commemorates the Holocaust, located on the west of Mount Herzl, and laid a wreath before proceeding to another museum for 1.5 million children who died during the period of the Holocaust. During the Holocaust, children were especially vulnerable to death under the Nazi regime. An estimated 1.5 million children, nearly all Jewish, were murdered during the Holocaust, either directly by or as a direct consequence of Nazi actions.
We should never, never, ever allow such to happen again to anyone, anywhere in our world.
President Hichilema also joined a list of world leaders in planting a tree at the Group of the Nations plantation in West Jerusalem.
How it's planted properly.
Put it in the hole.
Right. Straight, isn't it?
Yep.
Mr. Hakainde Hichilema, President of the Republic of Zambia, on the occasion of His Excellency planting a tree in the Grove of Nations in the Jerusalem Hills as a symbol of friendship between the Republic of Zambia and the State of Israel.
Jonathan Mka reporting for Zanis News in West Jerusalem, Israel.
And now back home to Central Province, where Provincial Minister Credo Nanjua says government will not compromise its decision to remove street vendors and has urged all councils in Central Province to start the relocation exercise. Meanwhile, calm has returned to Kabwe's Central Business District, where police fought running battles with bus, taxi drivers and street vendors yesterday. More in the following report by Shupekile Nkunika.
After fighting running battles with street vendors yesterday, police have returned to the Central Business District of Kabwe. This time, they want to ensure that street vendors do not return to cause confusion and litter the streets. Central Province Minister Credo Nanjua says there will be no compromise on government's decision to remove the vendors from the streets.
It's a matter that every council should be thinking when they should do that. It's not whether or not, but when and how.
And Provincial Permanent Secretary Milna Mwanakampwe says a number of bus drivers are now in designated areas of operation.
503 street vendors had voluntarily moved into designated places. 234, Kasanda Market, 161, Green Market, 8 at Mine Market, 10 Njanji.
The police and the council are committed to ensure sanity in the Central Business District.
We will make sure that we are consistent. We will not wait to be reminded.
We managed to arrest 19 people. 5 with conduct likely to cause a breach of peace. 14 riotous behavior, and they are all in custody and will appear in court soon.
In the Central Business District, the bus drivers who were relocated to the intra-bus terminus appear to have downed tools, as no single bus had left the station by 8 hours this morning.
Street vendor, abama boothi na bus driver wabika pamo. So, bapanga kwati problem. Natusumilekisa mu station, but panja njipadia balingire baleka mabasi aya kulusaka yalesenda abantu ni labor here.
Hlupekile Nkunika for Zanis in Kabwe.
The Zambia Statistics Agency Acting Director General Joseph Tembo says Zambia has recorded an increase in the number of human trafficking. Mr. Tembo says 42 persons were trafficked in 2021, while 79 were trafficked in 2022, indicating an increase. He said this during a 3-day regional capacity building workshop on trafficking in persons and labor migration statistics for economic community of Central African and SADC member states. More in the following report.
Human trafficking is a global phenomenon with serious consequences for those who are victimized. This is why the African Union, in partnership with International Labour Organization and International Organization for Migration, is jointly conducting a 3-day regional capacity building workshop on trafficking in persons and labor migration statistics for economic community of Central African and SADC member states.
79 victims. You see, to me it's not the small size. We are not talking millions. Even one traffic, it's not good. So now, here Zambia was saying 79 victims in 2022 were trafficked. From 42 in 2021. So it's worrying that this, if not combated, it will keep on escalating.
And Swedish Ambassador to Zambia explains more on the positives and negatives of migration and human trafficking.
Migration can be a driver for development at countries of origin and destination through exchanges of knowledge and skills, remittances, investments, as well as through social cultural exchanges. Irregular migration, however, can have adverse effects, as we know, exposing migrants to several protection risks, particularly the risks that are imposed by traffickers and smugglers cannot and must not be overlooked.
Meanwhile, implementing partners outlined the objectives of the workshop.
Data is essential for developing effective, evidence-based migration policies and programs. However, many African countries continue to face challenges in managing migration due to lack of sufficient and ineffective use of data, limited capacity, and policy coherence among other actors.
We'll be spending 2 days together discussing on how we can improve our capacity to avail timely, reliable, and highly quality data on trafficking in person and labor migration statistics for the development of better informed policies, planning, and decision-making.
We've got situations such as the aging population, labor forces which are reducing or declining. These are contributing to the growing mobility of workers, so they are moving. And more specifically, women are joining migration flows in large numbers, a lot of times as independent workers, meaning they are trying to start up their own business.
For Zanis in Lusaka.
We now take a break, and still to come, Solwezi Municipal Council misappropriates funds. Stay tuned.
Hello, it's time for you to know your rights. For ignorance of the law is no defense.
People should report any case of gender-based violence to the police. They should not be tempted to compromise the cases, because compromising a case of gender-based violence is actually an offense.
Zambia, like any other country, has got laws that govern the welfare of its citizens.
We provide some check, some oversight on the police service.
When an officer misconducts himself, he's alone. One person being beaten is enough for the commission to move. The Constitution tells us that the people of Zambia must enjoy their liberties.
Every week on Thursday at 19:30 hours, the Zambia News and Information Services, Zanis, brings to your screens a program dubbed Police and the Community.
If we, the police, and you, member of the public, we work together, because the common enemy we have before us is the criminal.
Catch Zanis TV on Channel 6 DTT and Channel 458 DTH. Zanis TV, the People's Channel.
For news and current affairs, entertainment, sports, children's programs, and a host of other events in and beyond our borders, Zanis TV has you covered. On Channel 6 and Channel 458 on Topstar.
In Northwestern Province, Provincial Minister Robert Liefu says preliminary findings of an audit report conducted at Solwezi Municipal Council has revealed that over 1 million kwacha has been misappropriated by some officers. Mr. Liefu has described this as unacceptable, as taxpayers' money is meant to benefit all citizens and not only a few individuals. Details in the following report.
Solwezi Municipal Council has recently drawn public attention following the suspension of 17 officers allegedly linked to the misappropriation of over 40 million kwacha. A preliminary audit report has, however, revealed more glaring irregularities, as over 100 million kwacha is now believed to have been misappropriated. Northwestern Province Minister Robert Liefu is not happy with the revelations.
The findings have been done. We have a report in place which I can't review this time. It will be revealed when we start arresting the culprits who are involved in this scenario. More than 100 million. So it is a lot of money. It's not 40 million the way we are talking about. It is more than 40 million.
Mr. Liefu wants similar audits to be extended to other councils.
Let me encourage other councils. As new Dawn government, please emulate. Copy from Northwestern Province. Copy from Northwestern Province, because we want to put all the councils in order. The whole country, 10 provinces.
Last month, Solwezi Mayor Remy Kalepa expressed ignorance over the alleged misappropriation.
We need to get facts where these allegations are coming from, and I challenge you colleagues, journalists, to get on the ground and get the facts, because if I've mentioned about people who've received grants, more than 100 cooperatives, and we have students that are in colleges being sponsored by the same CDF funds. So I don't know where the 31 million kwacha, where it's coming from.
For Zanis News, I am Onishas Mamba in Solwezi District, Northwestern Province.
And in CDF news, Kembe, Member of Parliament Princess Kasune, has handed over a check worth 2.2 million kwacha to various Constituency Development Fund beneficiaries in her constituencies. Details in the following report.
Constituency Development Fund has continued to impact the lives of ordinary Zambians in different aspects of society. In Kembe constituency, the area Member of Parliament handed over funds worth 2.2 million kwacha to various beneficiaries under CDF. Chief Chitanda of the Lenja people of Chivombo accompanied the legislator during the ceremony. The parliamentarian described CDF as a game changer for her constituents.
Kembe constituency is doing amazing works because of what the UPND government is doing. Now, there are many projects and programs that we have implemented in Kembe constituency. Or to say that because of the CDF under the UPND government, in every ward, Your Royal Highness, there is a project.
Chivombo Council Chairperson Newton Nyeleti pledged to manage CDF prudently.
At the council level, we want to look after those funds. We will not tolerate and will not accept any amount of corruption.
Earlier, the legislator, who is also chairperson for the Women Parliamentary Caucus, paid a courtesy call on Chief Chitanda.
We are trying to strive for retention of women who are members of parliament, and also to bring to the attention of His Royal Highnesses as well as the communities on the challenges we have had as a country because of the gender gap in terms of political presentation.
Chief Chitanda welcomed the Women's Caucus agenda of championing women's inclusivity in decision-making positions.
But even in allocation of whatever we want to do, in our assignments, it must be equal, in short, 50%. That is true, that you see me here seated as a chief. I'm working, but there's somebody behind the chief who is doing a lot of things in the kitchen, other assignments and other calls.
Mtalakani for Zanis News in Chibombo, Central Province.
Still on CDF, Chadiza Town Council has constructed 7 classroom blocks at a cost of more than 4 million kwacha using the 2022 Constituency Development Fund CDF. The council is also in the process of constructing 5 more classroom blocks. School authorities and pupils have thanked government for the structures, adding that this will help reduce long distances being covered by pupils to access education.
Chadiza district in Eastern Province has a deficit of over 8,000 desks, a situation that has forced learners to sit on the floor or wood poles. But thanks to the Constituency Development Fund for the procurement of desks.
Makes a total of 401 desks delivered so far. So the suppliers have actually started delivering the consignment in line with the contractual agreements. In terms of the desks, we, as Chadiza, our target is about 8,000. Under 2022 CDF projects, we have budgeted for 2,700.
This has also caught the attention of District Council Chairperson, who now wants the process of procuring and distribution of desks to be expedited.
Even on the part of desks, we didn't import anyone the way it used to happen. These desks are being manufactured around the district here in Chadiza by our own youths whom we picked at the market with that skill that they have. If you go outside, you find that there are a number of desks that the suppliers have supplied. And we want to make sure that before the children open next term, they will find the classroom done. Then they also they will find the desks being in those classroom blocks. We want to make sure that we retain the dignity that is needed in these schools, that our children should be learning in an environment that is pleasing.
The local authority hopes to procure over 3,000 desks under the 2023 CDF allocation.
As the district, we have, through the CDF and other stakeholders, we have actually budgeted for more in the 2023. And we expect to meet this target following the presidential directive to say by December, no child should be sitting on the floor. So as Chadiza district, we are not lagging behind. I think what we are witnessing is actually the fulfillment of what we planned as a district.
Juba Zulu, Zanis, Chadiza district, Eastern Province.
And in other news, Gender Division Permanent Secretary Mainga Kabika has called for continued sensitization and support in eliminating sexual and gender-based violence. Ms. Kabika said this in Kasama during the handover of 30 bicycles to project volunteers for Mungwi and Kasama offices. Here are the details.
Community volunteers are key in creating awareness on the sexual and gender-based violence. This is why the Natompane project has supported 30 volunteers from Mungwi and Kasama districts in Northern Province with bicycles to enable them to reach a wider population with sensitization messages. Gender Division Permanent Secretary Mainga Kabika was on hand to officiate at the colorful ceremony.
These selfless individuals have been driving the force behind the program's success, working day in and day out, raising awareness, providing support, and promote cultural empathy and respect in their communities. I extend my gratitude for your commitment to this noble cause. Your dedication has been an inspiration to all of us. In order to enhance work of the volunteers, we would like to provide you with these bicycles to help you with movement as you carry out your noble duties.
Natwampane SGBV team leader for Northern Province, Ann Sampa, and World Vision Associate Director Messi Ngoma are happy about the success of the program.
You know, most of the times you normally think, are we going to make an impact? Today, we celebrate the Natwampane because the impact that it has made, you are the ones who are giving us feedback, it is great.
We would like to see our community volunteers and champions take this information of preventing gender-based violence further than where they have been. That's the reason why we're handing over bicycles.
For the beneficiaries, this is what it means.
twalenda kuyana makasa mukufunda so apa ndetotera sana kukuyimirira ko abanandi tuletotera chine kozi batwangushyako kwenda.
Mtazanga Mumba for Zanis in Kasama district.
We now take another break, and still to come in the news, Kayambi Chozi Road works commence. Stay tuned.
Life is a journey full of varied experiences. Can we reach our desired destiny? Can we achieve our desired goals? If yes, then how? Join Juliet Mutale on Thursday at 18:30 hours on How I Made It, a program that highlights various success stories from different personalities with different life experiences and backgrounds. Catch Zanis TV on Channel 6 DTT and Channel 458 DTH. Zanis TV, the People's Channel.
For news and current affairs, entertainment, sports, children's programs, and a host of other events in and beyond our borders, Zanis TV has you covered. On Channel 6 and Channel 458 on Topstar.
We continue with the news. Nakonde and Senga Hill town councils have embarked on the construction of the Kayambi Chozi Road in Muchinga province. Muchinga Provincial Minister Henry Skazwe says the 25 kilometers road is important as it links Nakonde, Senga Hill and Mungwi districts. Speaking when he officially flagged off the construction of the project in Nakonde, Mr. Skazwe stated that the road will be constructed using the Constituency Development Fund CDF. Henry Lumpa Jr. now gives us details in the following report.
This is the Kayambi Chozi Road in Nakonde district, which has been in a deplorable state for a long time now and much worse in the rainy season. However, this situation is yet to change now as government has kick-started the rehabilitation of this stretch using the Constituency Development Fund CDF in a bid to improve accessibility to the neighboring districts of Senga Hill and Mungwi in Northern Province. Muchinga Province Minister Henry Skazwe, who flagged off the project, explained on the importance of this road.
What we have decided as through the local government is to do to start the road work, to do the all-weather friendly road, just to make sure that our people can access Nakonde district to the other side. Also, they can connect to Senga and the Mungo district. This road is very, very important for this region, because I believe it's the shortest route to Copper Belt. Yeah, so we have started the work. You have seen the graders, the grader and other equipment on the site.
To the Food Reserve Agency FRA operating in the area, the rehabilitation of this road will improve on their efficiency in their operations.
Chozi Satellite produces over 12,000 bags in a year. So for us, for this road to be graded, we'll be able to move the maize quickly before the rains. Because if the rains are bad, the maize stays in areas such as satellite depots for longer periods.
The local people here are grateful as they believe that this road had never seen a grader in over 30 years. Henry Lumpa Jr., Zanis in Nakonde, Muchinga Province.
And in a related development, rehabilitation works of the 20-kilometer Mobola-Muchila Road has commenced in Namwala District. Council Secretary Philemon Nyirenda said Muchila area is a major farming block which contributes to the district's food basket, and once completed, it will ease the transportation of agricultural produce. Wailinda Piri now gives us the rest of the story.
The Zambia National Service, ZNS, has finally commenced rehabilitation works on the Muchila-Mobola Road in Musha Chiefdom of Namwala District. This is after the Namwala Town Council awarded a contract to the Zambia National Service, ZNS, to rehabilitate the 20-kilometer stretch, which has been in a bad state for some time. Namwala Council Secretary has disclosed that so far, preliminary works on grading of the road have commenced.
That during the rain season, the road becomes completely impassable. That's why Council, under CGF, has contracted ZNS to do a 20-kilometer stretch of Mobola-Muchila Road. That Mobola-Muchila Road is an economic road. Why do I say it's an economic road? Mobola and Muchila areas are one of the food baskets for the market.
Learners who usually find it difficult to use the road in the rain season are happy. Farmers talked to are also elated of this development.
Yangu nimesinia hedi manishiru gobo warumba maningi gurodi njuba tuletera banhurumende abo waboterwa maningi gono kwa tulalomba abazwidiriye kupanga iki kintu kuti kibote maningi warumbisha maningi ari mijansana urumende kuti twaiba utirabereka maningi ajanguso.
The commencement of the rehabilitation of the Mobola-Muchila Road is a welcome initiative as it will ease the movement of people and agricultural produce to the market. For Zanis, I'm Wailinda Piri reporting.
And now for the rest of the news, Chief Mukwikile of the Bemba people of Shiwangandu district in Mchinga province has commended government for the positive strides recorded in the country. The traditional leader says he is happy with the stabilizing of drug supply in hospitals, debt restructuring, and the NAPSA partial withdrawal. Pethias Mtale is in Mchinga province and brought us this report.
Shiwangandu district in Mchinga province has been contending with the shortages of essential medicine in its health facilities for far too long. But this is history, as the government through the Zambia Medicine and Medical Supplies Agency ZAMSA has ensured that all health facilities in the district are fully stocked with medicine. At Matumbo Rural Health Center, facility in charge, Teresa Chanda, told Zanis that the facility, which cares for more than 10,000 clients, has all primary care essentials.
I want to say thank you to the government, thank you ZAMSA for at least helping us through, because a rural setup, we really need these drugs because we are servicing people that don't have a lot of money, I would put it, to go and have their drugs bought from Chisali, from Bika. They have to travel long distances so that they can come and get the service. So if our patients come and they find drugs readily available, I think it's really helping.
Chief Mukwikile is the traditional leader in Shiwangandu.
Ichakubalira pofye kutina temu kuchita komendi efyo buteko bule bomba, especially ubuteko bwa New Dawn. Kubalira po debt restructuring ichi nachilanga pa butatutu kutirati economy yesu nomba yala chitaguro muno twaikala munchende ishaba remote kanshi umuti nganatukwata mufipatala nchitwaishibo kutirati nobu mini nchitukwata echo natotela sana ubuteko bwaba akainde ichilema pafye bale bomba no kusakamana ifwe baikala muno mumishi umwabarimo.
Pethias Mutale for Zanis News in Shiwangandu, Mchinga province.
And now to Luapula Province, where a team from the Zambia Flying Doctor Service has provided screening services to residents of Mwansawombwe district. Zambia Flying Doctor Service Chief Medical Officer Mulenga Chilambwe said the team came to supplement the district health office. Lewis Changwe now gives us more in this report.
A team from the Zambia Flying Doctor Service was in Mwansawombwe to supplement the district health office to offer specialized health care services. Zambia Flying Doctor Service Chief Medical Officer Dr. Mulenga Chilambwe explains the services that have been rendered.
So far, Zambia Flying Doctor Service, working in conjunction with the district health office, we have seen close to 600 patients. So these are categorized in different sections. We have dental section where we have done almost 50 tooth extractions. And these are stable patients who have even been discharged. Under eye, we have seen close to 200, but specifically we have seen about 166 patients who have benefited from different ailments. Then we have also seen patients who presented with growth, especially affecting the eye. And these are some that have benefited from on-site surgeries that have been done.
Meanwhile, some patients attended to thanked the Zambia Flying Doctor Service for the services rendered to the local people.
We want to sincerely thank the team that has come with the flying doctors, and also the medication that they are given to the people, and also the activities that are going on. I think this is a commendable job that is being done, but my appeal is they should not only come once in a year.
Twatasha sana pa kupokelera ba flying doctor kusam kutuchecking ako tachiri changu katuletotera kutiro uyu ni omutsima bale chitaba konkanyepo kuli fwe bashinda kwanisho kwendo kya mufipatale fyalekanalekana nemba batuletera ko bunda pishikono kwine so tuletotera na kambi batwalira okutanga tefini.
Lewis Changwe, Zanis, Mwansawombwe, Luapula Province.
From Mwansawombwe to Lusaka Province, where Lusaka Province Permanent Secretary Robert Kamalata says the launch of the Integrity Committee is a basis for enhanced corruption prevention and control in government departments. Mr. Kamalata said this when he launched the Integrity Committee and unveiled the slogan to fight corruption dubbed Lusaka Province Says No to Corruption. Clara Kawimbe covered the event and brought us this report.
The provincial administration has launched the Integrity Committee IC and unveiled the SALA program statement against corruption, which will serve as a reminder of its resolve to prevent and combat corruption in the place of work. The Integrity Committee, which was done a few years ago, has seen the province fully engaged in corruption prevention activities in its operations. Province Permanent Secretary Robert Kamalata officially launched the Integrity Committee.
Staff under the provincial administration will encounter risks that may expose them to corruption. Therefore, putting in place mechanisms such as the Integrity Committee is one way by which all staff will have to check themselves to avoid corruption at any point of service delivery.
The Anti-Corruption Commission ACC Director General Tom Shamakamba was represented by Director Corruption Prevention, Glenda Mungalaba.
Mainstreaming corruption prevention requires individual institutions to develop and implement corruption prevention measures and make it part of the routine business in your day-to-day undertakings. It is aimed at removing opportunities for corruption and improving service delivery to the Zambian citizens.
And the Integrity Committee chairperson gives these remarks.
The perception by the public is that the government workers or civil servants are not up to that standard of integrity. And we want to root that and build the image for Lusaka Province so that it will be looked by the public with a better eyes.
Clara Kawimbe reporting for Zanis in Lusaka.
And finally, in the news, Livingston is considered as one of the cities in the country that is free from street children and adults as compared to most towns in the country. This has been attributed to the effective collaboration between government and other non-governmental stakeholders. Our staffer, Sarah Miti, is in Livingstone and filed in this report.
Livingstone City, Zambia's tourist capital, is one city that is almost devoid of street kids and adults. A walk through the central business district shows the distinct difference from what is prevailing in most cities across the country. A combination of government efforts through the social security interventions and other non-governmental stakeholders has made this possible. Zanis visited Linda Community School, located in Livingstone's Linda Township, which is providing free education to the local communities, including street kids and previous juvenile offenders. School head Catherine Chilambe explains the operations of the school.
The first priority for a child to be here, we focus on a child being a double orphan and then single orphan, and we still have the 5% of the vulnerable children, and mostly those children who are born from 2 young parents. I know now there's free education, but the only difference with this school is that for us, uniform is not a mandatory. A child can come to school without uniform, and our target group is from the age of 5 to 17. Like for the morning classes. So a child can be 15. If they've never been to school, they will still be in the first grade. So we are not limiting even with age. Even when we know a child needs like 8 notebooks. But if a child has 1, why can't they come barefooted? The uniform has got nothing to do with their brain.
Ms. Chilambe also explains that the school has not only been accommodating and educating children from the street, but vulnerable adults too. 65-year-old grade 8 student Rosemary Shungu is one of the beneficiaries and has advice for young people.
To the young children who are stopping school, I can encourage them that school is good and school is their future. In the future, they will find that education will give them good life. Yes, I can encourage them that in marriage, there is no life. Please, to you young girls and young boys, don't go after marriage while you are too young.
As a means to prevent the students from returning to the streets, 18 houses so far have been built for the pupils and their caretakers, such as the ones in Kabila area, supported by Okondwela Foundation. I used to move from house to house. I used to live in incomplete houses as a caretaker, and I would move whenever the house was completed and look for another house to live that is incomplete. I lived in about 3 to 4 houses just like that until the people of God and Mr. Manda from the institution identified me and brought me here. Sarah Miti for Zanis in Livingstone.
As we come to the end of the news, a recap of our top stories. President Hakainde Hichilema woos Israeli investors. Over 1 million kwacha misappropriated by Solwezi Municipal Council staff. Kayambi Chozi Road works commence. And Chief Mukwikile commends government for development. That is what we had packaged for you on the news on behalf of the entire news production crew. My name is Henry Himonde. Until next time, it's goodbye.